Hello and welcome back to Gapeys Garden. Today we're just going to do a quick fig tasting of one of my favorite figs this year, the Robert's Golden Rainbow. So let's start by picking some figs. We are down to our last 4 figs on the Robert's Golden Rainbow, also known as Ben's Golden Riverside. And I think I'm going to harvest all 4 of them today because they are all looking pretty ready. And it has been very humid, though we haven't had any rain in the last month. Some of these figs are starting to get a little bit moldy, so we're probably not going to be able to eat this one. This is the worst one. Very moldy, and I'm surprised it hasn't dropped to the ground considering how moldy and probably overripe it is. But we're gonna take a look at the inside and see how it looks, and we'll also get these guys as well. So the neck is really soft and it actually feels pretty soft too, so I think they're good and ready. And we'll pick this last one here. Okay, here's our 4 figs. Let's weigh the smallest one. That one is 22.5 grams. This guy is 38.1. This one, 47.1. And our big guy here is 57.7. Let's cut open the moldiest one first. So that one is pretty moldy, so I'm not gonna bother eating that one. I'll put that one in the compost. Let's try this one here. Not too bad. I'm not gonna eat the skin of this one either because there's a lot of mold on there, but I'll probably dig out the inside. And then this one here has some moldy patches there. Looks pretty good. And then our last one, this one should be much better. Looks pretty good. The middle is a little bit, there's a hole there. You can see some syrup in the center of this one, so still pretty juicy. I think this one probably looks the most ripe. So let's go ahead and give it a try. We're going to start out with the biggest one that had no mold on it. Very light, not as sweet as some of the figs that I've had earlier this year. But still really good. This one seems to have a little more of a melon flavor than I remember. And it seems to have a different taste later in the season. So it's been very dry this month, and the night temperatures have been down in the 30s and low 40s. So I think that could affect the taste of the figs. But still a really good fig. Let's go ahead and try the one that looked the most ripe. I did cut off any of the moldy bits on the outside, so we should be safe on this one. Now this one has more of that honey flavor. It's a lot more ripe than the previous one I had. Really good. Now this is what it's supposed to taste like. A lot of honey and a little bit of a melony flavor. Definitely one worth growing if you can, but if you have a really humid temperature around ripening time, they could mold if left on the tree too long, so that's something you want to consider as well. And this fig was very productive this year. I think it had around a dozen figs or so, and it was actually one of my first figs to ripen this year, which was kind of surprising. I've heard a lot of other people say it ripens a little bit later for them, but for me this year it was very early, and the figs only ripened about 2 at a time. So it's not one of those figs that they all ripen all at the same time. It's very, very spread out. So the first one ripened in early September, and we're now in the middle of October, and we just picked the last ones. So the ripening time on this one is very widespread. So if you can get your hands on one of these figs, I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.